Hello, I'm Thérèse, Product Development Engineer for Electric Vehicle Cable. Today, Carlie, Crawford, and I are going to talk about EV charging cable standards. Electric vehicle cable has been included on a UL standard for more than a decade, but UL 62 is a flexible cord and cable standard, so electric vehicle cable really didn't fit here. Since this industry is booming, it was decided to take electric vehicle cable off of UL 62 and make its own specific spec, which is now UL 2263. It has been a published standard since last year in 2022. Now we're going to talk about the differences between UL recognized cable and UL listed cable as it relates to EV cable. So what is recognized cable? It is going to be a cable that is built to an appliance wiring material standard or AWM and is going to be tested to the UL standard. So when we have a recognized cable, it's going to meet the performance requirements of that EV spec, but it doesn't meet the strict standard construction requirements to be listed to UL 2263. This type of component wire is going to be accepted by UL and the customer with those construction requirements and performance requirements. It is also going to be factory installed by the customer and not used as an end product. So what are the benefits of a recognized cable? We can customize it to the customer needs. As an example, we can reduce the outside jacket diameter of the cable. This is important to connector manufacturers because with a smaller outside cable diameter, we can more easily meet their outer diameter requirements to fit inside that connector handle. Also, by reducing the material, we're going to make the cable lighter and more flexible. The recognition route also allows us to mix thermoset and thermoplastic types of insulation and jackets that are allowable in that range of construction for the recognition. So the cons. If we have a recognized cable, we're going to have to do all of the UL testing that's required that's not covered in the recognized range. In some cases, we might have to provide a control sample in order to compare the recognized cable to the control sample to do the mechanical comparison testing if we don't meet that insulation and jacket requirements of the UL 2263. And of course, by doing extra testing, that's going to add cost to the testing. It's going to add time to the validation stage for each cable that we want to develop.
While UL recognized certification is for components and parts to be integrated into a larger system, such as a complete EV charging system, a UL listed certification is reserved for complete products that meet the specific defined requirements of a UL standard. In this case, that would be UL 2263 for EV cables. A cable listed to UL 2263 can be field or factory installed as an end product per National Electrical Code Article 400 and is covered under the UL category code number FFSO, which will elaborate more on the next slide. A benefit of pursuing a listed product may be improved speed to market for new constructions. However, a listed construction must adhere to the strict requirements of the governing UL standard, which does not allow for customized overall diameters outside of the tolerances within the standard. Constructions are also limited to use and ampacities specified in NEC Article 400. UL Product IQ is an online database that allows customers to search with a keyword or by the category code number or CCN, which is a 4-figure code randomly assigned to product categories by UL. The 4-figure code designated for EV products is FFSO. So by searching FFSO on the UL Product IQ, customers can view all listed and recognized manufacturers. FFSO alone signifies all listed constructions. The suffix 2 indicates recognized components, 3 is unlisted components, 7 is certified for Canada, 8 is certified for Canada as a component, and lastly, 9 as a suffix indicates an unlisted component certified for Canada.
UL has created a designation system to identify different types of cable. By using this, we can easily understand what type of cable is being talked about or listed. So we identify those with the coding system that we see on the screen by EVJ, EVJE, etc. UL has separated different types of cable by hard usage, extra hard usage, by separating out the voltage And then within the specification of UL 2263, we have different performance requirements that are going to dictate the material type that is used. So we can use different types of material, such as thermoset, thermoplastic materials. So for an example, if I say that we have a listed EVE type cable, that means that the cable is rated to 600 or 1000 volts and is a thermoplastic elastomer TPE. We are not allowed to use different types of material in a listed cable. So what this means, we cannot use a thermoset insulation in the inner cables and a thermoplastic on the jacket. But what we can do is use a thermoset insulation and a thermoset jacket, or a thermoplastic insulation and a thermoplastic jacket. Here we want to talk about the differences we're going to see in the wall thickness when comparing an AWM to the UL 2263 standard. Here we have an example style, but others totally can be used for a recognized cable. We're going to talk about AWM 21387 and comparing these wall thicknesses to the UL 2263, we can instantly see that the wall thickness is going to be much smaller than different types of cable that will be listed to UL 2263. So if we have an example cable with a core diameter of, let's say, 30 millimeter, we look across the chart, and for an AWM style, we'll have to use a 2.03 minimum average thickness. And if for this cable, let's say we have to reference table 24, where we have a conductor larger than 8 gauge, we have almost double the wall thickness that is needed to make that cable. So here we can see visually the difference of the cable design and why you might use recognized versus listed.
Marmon has the ability to complete internal testing through our DAP lab to ensure continuous compliance with the standard. UL performs annual audits of the DAP lab facility to ensure accuracy of testing results and conformance with the relevant test methods and standards within the scope. This allows Marmon to submit data directly to UL for recognition programs and listings, reducing the research and development cost and improving the speed to market.
If you have technical questions about EV DC fast charge cables, testing, or UL qualifications, please contact us at our emails below. Thank you for your time and consideration.